Hello friends. Today we'll discuss about the current energy scenario of India, world and the future trends in the power generation in this introduction part. Let's go for the presentation. These are the contents for today's presentation, that is energy scenario of India and the world, future trends in the power generation and distribution. Next one, distributed generation. What will be the benefit of distributed generation? That whole part we'll discuss about uh, in distributed generation. The last one is alternate energy, just a definition of alternate energy only. We'll start with the first one. What is the energy scenario of India? So this table we can see this is the energy scenario actually. This is the installed capacity. Installed capacity in India is 3,71,054 megawatt installed capacity till now. Means it is a data given by the Central Electricity Authority (CEA) and published by the Power Ministry on 30 June 2020. So if you see this data, we will understand that the thermal power plant or thermal based power plants having a share of installed capacity is 62 percentage. In that one again the coal based power plant is 53 percentage. Means total installed capacity in that one again 50 percentage, more than 50 percentage share till now belong to the coal actually. The next one is lignite, it's very less 1.8, gas 6.7, diesel is very low, that is zero point 0.1. Usually diesel power plants are installed for the backup purpose only. So that is why it have a very less share in the installed capacity. Hydro are the renewable sources. Hydro also comes in the renewable sources. So that is 12.3 percentage. Nuclear is 1.8 percentage installed. So that is 6,780 megawatt we are getting from the nuclear side. The last one is RES, that is the renewable energy sources. So that is 87,669 megawatt. So total installed capacity, the percentage is 23.6 percentage. So 23.6 plus 12.3, that is 35 percentage or more than 35 percentage we are getting from the renewable sources. So we have one more than one fourth of installed capacities from renewable, but the problem is that we have a more installed capacity is the thermal based power plant, and in that one also coal we are using 53 percentage. Actually, the main purpose why these data are published and why the other different types of generating plants are nowadays installing new commissioning you are seeing of, because we want to reduce the coal or fossil fuel related power plants actually, and we want to more focus on the renewable sources of energy power plants. So RES includes my small hydro projects, biomass gasifiers, biomass power, urban and industrial waste power, solar and wind. This all comes in a RES actually. So we want that at green earth. So concept of the green earth, we can use more renewable energy so that CO2 emission will be less. So in that purpose, all the government agencies or the in the world also planning to move this electrical electricity generation through the renewable source of energy. So that is why we want the share of the renewable energy should be going to be increased. So this is the energy statistics of the India at presently. So energy demand, if we talk about energy demand, we know that energy demand is growing every day. So that's always, this is not going to be, because more and more energies are required. So government of India has made a remarkable progress in providing access to electricity and the clean cooking, while implementing a range of energy market reforms and integrating a high share of renewable energy sources into the grid. So renewable sources, now we have seen that 23.6 percentage. So for the total installed capacity is 371 gigawatts. So it might be that we are going to expand this one to up to 175 gigawatts by the 2022. This is a target given by the Ministry of Renewable of India. So we want to increase the renewable target, especially by the solar or any way. The solar in a renewable also, solar is playing a big role in that one. Now we see the world energy scenario. So world energy scenario, the total electricity generation is 27,000 terawatt hour. Terawatt hour means 10 raised to 12 watt hour. And in that purpose, if we talk about the watt generation, so in 2020, India's generation is 2061 terawatt hour. But in the first phase of this year, there's a decline in energy that is use we have reduced because of the COVID-19 is 3.8 percentage. So it was because of the so many reasons. Okay, so we are now doing, we'll see the world energy scenario or generation statistics with the different fuels. So in this one, we'll see the chart, this pie chart. The coal is all over the world. Whatever the electricity is generated from the coal shares the this thermal blaze power plant shares in that one, especially coal shares the 36 percentage. In India it is 53 percentage, but in the world it is 36 percentage. The gas in India is very less, so but in the world it is 21 percentage, and oil is 3 percentage. Nuclear having the share of the electricity from the nuclear power plant electricity is generated is 11 percentage on all over the world. Hydro is 14 percentage, wind 7 percentage, solar 4 percentage, and the renewable energy is 4 percentage. Actually, the coal is more in every generation, so that we are going to reduce in coming years. That is the target of the future trend, or the reducing of the coal-based plants actually, by implementing more and more renewable energy sources in these sectors. So this is the actually a pie chart which gives an idea how much energy is obtained uh, from the different sectors or different types of energies from coal, gas, nuclear, or like that way. So we have seen that 36 percentage, which is having a big play of coal in the energy market. So electricity generation from the natural gas and the renewable energy is grown rapidly in the years. Why it is growing rapidly? Because the natural gas price was reduced actually. Another one, why the renewable has playing a big role, because the cost of the solar and the wind is declined now. Previously, cost of the 1 megawatt power plant is very high. Nowadays, the material and everything cost is very less. So the solar power plant cost is reduced. Solar PV power plants cost is reduced actually. So energy sector remains the biggest and spot for the renewable, with the strong growth of the solar voltaic and the wind in the recent years, building a building on already a significant contribution of hydropower. So the renewable capacity is going to be expanded by the 50 percentage from 2019 to 2024, uh, led by the solar PV. And the another one is the offshore wind contributes the 4 percentage of increase, and its capacity should be triple, means it should be 12 percentage by 2020. 4. The one thing, whenever the energy data is given by any agency, especially by the International Energy Agency, so it is always given in EG. What do you mean by EG actually? So 1 exajoule it is equal to 20 trillion joules. That is 10 raised to 18 joules actually. So this usually the datas are given, but here we have taken the datas of in kilowatt hour or megawatt. But usually the datas are given in hexajoules because energy unit is joules. So 1 exajoules is equal to 1 quadrillion joules. That is 10 raised to 18 joules. Now the next one is the future trends of the power generation and distribution. So what are the significant changes which we are going to see in the coming years in the power sector? This because of the these five factors. That is, one is the electrical vehicle, another is digitalization of power industry, grid scale battery storage, microgrid, and corporate power purchase agreements (PPA). Yes, that will be about power purchase agreements will be done. So many. So these are the trends we are going to see in coming years in this power industries, in the generation and the distributions. So first one is the electrical vehicle. So adoption, we know that electrical vehicle is a huge thing because by 2030, every automobile will be electrical vehicle only. That is a target of the world actually. So there will be less usage of the petrol. Um, so in that purpose, the presently the International Energy Agency has shown the data that we have a 5.1 million in 2018, which is expected to grow. This market, EV market, is going up to the 130 million from means 130 percentage. It is going to be high. So by 2013. So what government is doing in this sector in the world, that they are setting a EV deployment targets and encouraging the industry stakeholders to invest across the EV supply chain. Means so many people are investing in EV supply chain for developing the EV. We have a EV charging stations, so many EV charging stations are required. Vehicle to grid services are required. Energy storage is required. Even the renewable energies also play an important role in electrical vehicles. So one factor which will affect the future of power industry is the electrical vehicle. Another one is the digitalization. Digitalization means we are going more digital. Previously, the power industry is not that much digitalized actually. So now we are going to implement the cyber security, big data, cloud computing, robotics, and Internet of Things for multi-purpose actually. For cyber security, we have used for the power company to protect the grid from the cyber attack. Big data and cloud computing is useful for supporting this initiative for the power industries. IoT will help actually for the remote monitoring and control of uh, power microgrids actually, and for the maintenance purpose also, for preventing maintenance also, for IoT we can use. So that is the major part. The more means we can go for the digitalization of the power in the coming years. Another one is a grid scale battery storage. So storage nowadays, if we talk about the storage, is a very less part. But if there's a requirement of grid storage, then that only data is given that by 2018 it is 4.9 gigawatts, but by 2023 it will be 22 gigawatts for the battery storage system itself. One of the medium we can store in a battery by the lithium ion batteries or lead acid batteries we can use for the storage, but another so many mediums are there for the storage that we'll discuss in a later on chapters. So that is also grid scale battery storage is also plays an important role for the future trends. Next one is a microgrid. Yes, microgrid means a grid which is located near to the customer actually. So it's a small grid, might be of kilowatt, might be of megawatt, depends upon the load or depend upon the utility what they have means how much you are investing it. So definitely the microgrid, so many microgrid projects are every time announced. Mini hydro projects also is a microgrid projects only. Small, if you have a smaller solar power plant at your home means of kilowatt, 5 kilowatt, that is also as a microgrid only. So in this sector also there will be a so many changes are coming in the power industry. Next one, the last one is the corporate power purchase agreements. So large corporations are increasing signing the PPAs and the power generator companies to meet their power requirement. So most PPAs are signed with the renewable energy generators, enabling them to increase the renewable energy share in the total consumption. The raise in the contract PPAs also fueled the impact as the government across the countries was withdrawing the feed-in tariff and other initiative for the wind and the solar power and moving towards the audition mechanism. Corporate PPAs offers the developers the opportunity to sell their power profitably. Actually, there's always be an agreement between the if some person is generating something, especially the solar power plant or wind power plant, so they want to sign agreement to the utility who is going to purchase. So what happens? It should be beneficial for both of them. Um, Even utility means the generating person also will get a money profitable money from this, and another one is the utility also will be get the power in that one. So whatever the energy demand is there in that load area, it should be solved off. So many power purchase agreements are nowadays doing by the big companies like Amazon or Walmart, so for completing their requirement of energy. So that is all about the future trends, which having the 5 points. In that one also it is detailed like from the electrical vehicle to PPAs. Next one is a distributed energy. So we first see the definition of the distributed energy generation actually. So DG, in a short it known as a DG. So it is defined as a small generation unit and the energy storage unit which is located to the customer end or the distribution end, or we can say it is located near to the load end. Another definition by EPRI, Electrical Power Research Institute, defines the distributed generation as a generation from few kilowatt to 50 megawatt. If the microgrid is there and it is generating between the 1 kilowatt to 50 kilowatt, then it is the known as a distributed generation which having the controls also. So usually the distributed generation, the other names are distributed resources, that is DR, distributed energy resources, dispersed power. This whole means the distributed generation only actually. Distributed generation and the storage enables the collection of energy from many sources and may lower the environmental impact and improve the security of the supply. Actually, the purpose of distributed generation is the it should collect from the energy from the different sources, especially and having a less impact to the power means environment impact. So like if you take the energy from the renewable sources, definitely it will be less impact to the environment and which will be have a more security to the supply. So some places we can see that there will be a load shedding of 3 or 4 hours. But if we have a storage system and if we have some microgrid there and other sources there other than the utility grid, then we can get the supply from that source. So that is the benefit of the distributed generation actually. So nowadays if you see, both the public and the private company plays an important role in DG. So different types of DR includes whatever things we are including it. So many resources, yes, many resources we are taking. So it might be solar voltaic, wind, combined heat and power, energy storage, demand response, electrical vehicle, microgrid, or energy efficiency. If you see the block diagram, we will be more picture for the distributed generation. See, distribution generation in the middle and all other things are around of it. So everything is related and everything will become controlled by the distributed generation only. So why DR are emerging rapidly in the multiple reasons nowadays? What are the reason the distributed generation is growing very high? So that is the one is the constructing a new and the existing high voltage transmission line for centralized generation are expensive and challenging. So customer demand, if in a rural area distributed energy is there, because going for the new transmission line, increasing the capacity of the line is a costly one compared to that if we installed a one small plant in that one. So customer demand and reliability also increased. The demand of the customer also increased nowadays. The reliability means they want every time power. So there will be no power cut. So definitely DG is required everywhere. The concern of the climate change has created a full shift in a renewable energy. Yes, one of the requirement of the DG comes because there is a shift in a renewable energy. Another one is a peak shaving. Whatever the peak load is there, sometimes we can't able to meet by the utility grid. So that is given by the DG actually. New energy technologies, materials and designs and improve the performance and extend the range of locations of the DR. So nowadays we are more concentrating on the renewable type of energies. So the technologies also developed, materials, designs also improved, and the cost also reduced, so that we are more focused on the these types of things actually. So DR classification according to their size. So we can see there's a classification. We told that DR will be up to few kilowatt to 50 megawatt, but 50 megawatt. So if it is less than 2, it is known as a micro. If it is 2 to 10 in a single phase or 30 in a three phase, then is a milli. Okay, if it is 10 kilowatt to 30, means up to 1 megawatt, then it is a small. And this is the names are given, okay, according to the installed capacity, that also especially for the wattage capacity actually. So if it is more than 5 megawatt, you can say that it is the large one. 5 megawatt to the 50 kilowatt megawatt means it's a big plant, or big DG is there, or big DER is there actually. So micro, it comes a rooftop solar plant which will be very less to up to 2 kilowatt, or like that way. Mini means having with the fuel cells and combined heat and power system. Biomass, okay, that is coming in the small. Medium hydro and like the large is a cogeneration hydro, solar thermal or wind and distributed connected like that system it is. So this is all about the DR classification. Now we see what are the benefits of the distributed energy resources to the customers actually. The customers, if they install the DER, able to reduce the price what they're paying for the electricity actually. And that also we will get the payment benefit also, and we will get the improvement in reliability outcome. Means we not want to reliable. The power supply will be available for us for 24 hours like that way. So DR also helps to reduce the cost of power generation. Okay, because compared to a big plant installation, if you install a small, definitely cost and everything will be less. So overall cost faced by the customers will be less. Okay. The another one is the increased penetration of DR may also help to reduce the overall emission. intensity, net energy meeting, DEM, or displacing other emissions and intensity. Net metering also is the beneficial from the distributed energy resources. So next one is the examples. Rooftops means what are the examples for the distributed energy resources? Rooftop solar power photovoltaic unit, wind generating unit, battery storage, battery in electrical vehicle, used in export powers, combined heat and power, biomass generators, open and closed gas turbines, reciprocating engines, diesel, oil. This all coming in the DG. Means DG includes the many resources. So this whole fuel cells, hydro, mini hydro schemes, this all comes in a DG actually. Next one and the last one is a definition of alternative energy. Alternative energy refers to the energy other than fossil fuels. This includes all the renewable energy and the nuclear. Alternate energy is a term used to refer any source of energy that is not derived from the fossil fuels. Yes, it's a simple definition. We want to know because sometimes it is asked what is the alternative energy. So whatever energy forms are available, which is not a fossil fuels, that all energies are comes in alternative energy, especially renewable and the nuclear. So that is a definition for the alternative energy. So this is the end of this one, this presentation. Thank you.